Have you ever wondered whether a single apology could ignite a storm powerful enough to reshape the emotional landscape of one of the world's most devoted fandoms? Could a few carefully chosen words from Jungkook really deepen the invisible thread that fans believe binds him to Taehyung? Or is the perception of a strengthening relationship merely the product of longing hearts and watchful eyes? What if the moment meant to calm controversy instead amplified whispers of intimacy, loyalty, and unspoken bonds? And why, in the wake of an apology intended to soothe, did the global fandom known as ARMY fracture into emotional camps, some offering unwavering support, others sensing clues that something deeper between the two artists is quietly solidifying? Before you read further, ask yourself, is this the turning point fans have waited for? Or the spark that will divide them further? If this unfolding emotional saga moves you, if you feel the tension between devotion and doubt, stay with this story until the end. And share your thoughts, because the truth may lie in the collective voice of those watching most closely. The atmosphere surrounding the apology did not begin as a storm. It began as a tremor, subtle but perceptible to those who follow every movement, every expression, every absence. When Jungkook addressed the controversy, his words measured, reflective, and tinged with vulnerability, many expected the narrative to end there, sealed by sincerity. Yet sincerity in the world of global pop rarely closes doors. Instead, it opens corridors of interpretation. Within minutes, fragments of the apology circulated through fan communities, translated, analyzed, reframed. But what captured attention most was not merely what Jungkook said, but what he did not say. The omissions, pauses, and tone became a canvas upon which fans projected meaning. And at the center of that interpretive storm stood Taehyung, the bandmate whose perceived emotional proximity to Jungkook has long fueled fascination. Observers noted that Jungkook's apology carried an undertone of personal accountability that seemed to extend beyond the specific issue at hand. His language suggested not only regret but a desire to protect something fragile, something valued. In fandom discourse, that something quickly became associated with Taehyung. Screenshots comparing past interactions resurfaced, clips of shared glances and laughter were reposted, and long threads of commentary emerged proposing that the apology was not solely for public consumption, but also a gesture toward someone deeply significant. Whether such interpretations hold objective truth remains uncertain, yet their emotional impact is undeniable. Fans began to speak not just of controversy, but of connection. The reaction from ARMY did not unfold uniformly. Many rallied behind Jungkook, emphasizing his humility and courage in addressing criticism. They framed the apology as evidence of maturity, a willingness to confront mistakes openly in an industry often characterized by guarded statements. For these supporters, the narrative was straightforward. An artist recognized the weight of his influence and responded with sincerity. Yet another current flowed beneath that supportive surface. Some fans argued that the emotional tone of Jungkook's words hinted at private repercussions, perhaps disappointment from someone close, perhaps a need to reaffirm trust. In this interpretation, Taehyung became not merely a bandmate, but the silent witness whose unseen reaction mattered most. Speculation intensified when fans revisited earlier moments between the two artists, constructing a chronology of closeness. The notion that their bond had endured pressures, schedules, and separate artistic paths already held symbolic power within fandom culture. Now the apology seemed to function as narrative reinforcement. If Jungkook expressed regret with unusual depth, some reasoned, it might reflect concern for how his actions affected Taehyung personally. The idea spread rapidly. The apology had not weakened their relationship, it had strengthened it. Headlines across fan spaces echoed variations of the same question. Was this proof their connection remained unshaken? Yet even as that interpretation gained traction, resistance formed. A segment of ARMY cautioned against projecting private dynamics onto public statements. They argued that conflating an apology with romanticized narratives risked overshadowing Jungkook's autonomy and reducing both artists to characters in fan-constructed stories. To them, the strengthening relationship theory exemplified the dangers of overinterpretation. They urged respect for boundaries, reminding others that emotional bonds among bandmates do not require speculative embellishment. This pushback, however, did little to halt the momentum of speculation. If anything, it deepened the divide. Supporters of the closeness narrative saw skepticism as denial of an evident truth, while critics viewed the speculation as intrusion. The emotional temperature rose further when fan edits began circulating. Montages juxtaposing Jungkook's apology with past footage of him and Taehyung sharing quiet moments. Soft music, lingering eye contact, subtle gestures. The edits constructed an aesthetic of enduring attachment. To viewers predisposed to seeing significance, the montage effect was powerful. The apology transformed from isolated statement into narrative climax. Comments beneath such videos often expressed relief and affirmation. The bond was intact, perhaps even stronger. Others responded with discomfort, arguing that editing techniques manufactured meaning. Thus, the same visual material became evidence for opposing conclusions. What makes this episode particularly resonant is the way it highlights the participatory nature of fandom interpretation. ARMY is not merely an audience. It is a global network of analysts, archivists, translators, and storytellers. Each new statement from any member of BTS enters a living archive of context. Jungkook's apology did not arrive in a vacuum. It joined years of shared history. Consequently, its impact extended beyond immediate controversy to touch long-standing narratives about friendship, loyalty, and emotional reliance. Fans who already perceived a special bond between Jungkook and Taehyung found their beliefs reaffirmed, while those wary of such narratives found their caution validated by the fervor surrounding it. Emotionally, the apology also carried symbolic weight because of timing. Both artists have navigated increasingly individual artistic identities, with solo projects drawing attention to personal expression distinct from group dynamics. In such periods of differentiation, fans often seek reassurance that foundational relationships remain secure. Jungkook's public remorse, framed by vulnerability, inadvertently provided that reassurance to some. It suggested that despite independence and growth, relational ties still mattered profoundly. For others, however, the leap from professional respect to intimate bond remained unsubstantiated, highlighting how the same emotional cue can yield divergent readings. Media commentary within fan communities amplified the sense of unfolding drama. Posts framed the apology as paradoxical, intended to resolve tension, yet intensifying speculation. The phrase, "the apology that united and divided," appeared repeatedly. It captured a central irony. Gestures of humility often invite empathy, but in hyper-observant fandom spaces, empathy can morph into interpretive fervor. Every nuance becomes a clue. The absence of direct reference to Taehyung paradoxically heightened his presence in discourse. Silence became suggestive. In narrative terms, the unmentioned character sometimes carries the most intrigue. Another dimension of the divide stems from differing philosophies about fandom engagement. Some fans embrace interpretive storytelling as an extension of emotional connection. To them, exploring possible relational depth enriches appreciation of the artist's humanity. Others prioritize boundaries, emphasizing respect for privacy and resisting narratives that cannot be confirmed. Jungkook's apology, positioned at the intersection of vulnerability and ambiguity, catalyzed these contrasting approaches. Each side invoked care, one caring through imaginative empathy, the other through restraint. Thus, what appeared as conflict also reflected shared devotion expressed differently. Amid debate, direct support for Jungkook remained abundant. Messages emphasizing forgiveness, pride, and gratitude flooded social platforms. Many highlighted the courage required for public acknowledgement of fault. These supporters insisted that the core story should remain Jungkook's growth, not speculative relational drama. Yet even within supportive messages, references to Taehyung surfaced indirectly. Hopes that those close to him would see his sincerity, wishes that the members remained united. The relational dimension persisted like an undercurrent, inseparable from perception of the individual.